creepy, and cool TikToks that will blow your mind. Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go!
Disclaimer: this video is for entertainment purposes only. Please do your own research, as these clips haven't been fact-checked.
Do you know the difference between us and angels? One thing, angels, God created them externally. Us humans, God created us internally. That's why they are servants. We are the son. The most powerful angel, the archangel Michael. He comes, he must salute me. I am the weakest of all. I'm nothing but a piece of dust. Archangel Michael, he only needs to blink his eye. He can wipe the whole world. Not just me, the whole world with me. Yet the most powerful, the holy angel of God, cannot dare to look into my face. He needs to bow and salute me. Why? Because I descend from the royal family. I am the son of his master. And we're selling all this for the pig's field, for having fun. My son, my daughter, don't ever replace your eternity with the pig's field called the world. We cannot afford to lose our eternity. We cannot. Don't sell it.
Because I am the son of his master? That goes hard.
Dr. Richard Wiseman did a study. He asked people to perceive their own luck. How lucky do you feel? Then he gave them a challenge. He gave them a newspaper. And he said, I want you to count the amount of images in this newspaper. They sat with the newspaper and they counted all the images, but there was a trick. There's always a trick in these studies. On the second page of the newspaper, in big print, it said, stop counting. There are 42 images in this newspaper. Almost all of the people who perceived themselves as lucky saw the ad, closed the paper, and gave it back. So there are 42 images. Almost none of the unlucky people did. The unlucky people missed the ad and kept counting, spent a lot of time, and made more mistakes. This means that if you think of yourself as lucky, you literally see more opportunities. If you think of yourself as unlucky, you miss them.
I'm not only lucky, but I'm blessed as well.
There's a video circulating of Clarissa Ward, a CNN news reporter, showing that her and her crew found a prisoner. Now, I want to be very clear. What I'm about to tell you is only in regards to that video. I'm not referring to any other video of any other prisoners being rescued, just the one from CNN, Clarissa Ward. She claims that her and her crew found a Syrian prisoner laying under a blanket. And apparently this man was supposed to have been in this prison for 3 months. 3 months. No windows. No nothing. Being held captive. And she goes in there, her and her crew. You can see in the clip she's waking him up. And he's, oh my God, like, holy cow, what's going on? I want to point out from the naked eye and maybe one quick glance, it might be believable.
Nope.
To me, this is staged. Again, let me be clear. I didn't see in full detail any other videos, just this one. It's staged. This man has clean fingernails, short hair, a very short, almost 5 o'clock shadow beard. His clothes are not dirty. The blanket is perfectly folded. And to be perfectly honest with you, you can tell they're acting. It's not real. And if you want to see the video, what I'm talking about, just go in the search bar and hit Clarissa Ward, Syria. It'll be the first one. You be the judge. There is no way a man with no food, no water, no bathroom usage, no windows, laying under a blanket is as clean as the day he went in there. No.
Yep, Clarissa Ward is an actress, not a journalist. By the way, you can watch the video on my yesterday's video. I posted it. No way. I think from the meme, I can see if the man just pretending. But what do you think? I still find it hard to believe that a rich kid whose family owns healthcare services could not get the healthcare he needed. Something just sound off about that.
This guy right here is a very known brujo. He's known in the specific part in Mexico called Catemaco. He's one of the most powerful ones, and he's known for taking you to the devil's cave, La Cueva del Diablo.
Oh, okay, okay.
And is the middleman between you and the devil to make a pact. He guides you through the whole process. After a certain time, it's just you and the devil.
Dude, look
But
at the
there's this
eyes,
one
man.
video, and he was talking about the reason why he has stopped doing pacts no more with
Yeah.
the devil.
Porque la última vez me llegó un señor con un niño de 4 años y quería pactar, pero él quería ofrendar a ese niño. Un niño que no había vivido su vida. Él no quería control, él lo que quería era avaricia.
¿Qué ritual hace para ofrendar al niño?
Lo desmiembra con un cuchillo, con una daga. Esa sangre se lo quitan a los niños cuando ellos están en lo peor del miedo. Cuando tienen esa adrenalina es cuando se les saca la sangre a los bebés, a los niños.
What?
¿Se le saca la sangre mientras están vivos? ¿O
Mientras tienen miedo.
He ended up saying is that you have to drink the child's blood
Yeah.
when the child is at the highest peak of fear, and it's some sort of like drug.
Because
Yeah.
of the adrenaline that they get.
That energy gets carried on into your body. It's like you feel some sort of high. They'd rather have them, keep them around scared than kill them. This goes on to the whole conspiracy
Oh my
revolving
goodness.
Monsters Inc.
Well,
Right?
okay, I think I know where you're gonna go with this, bro.
In Monsters Inc., their whole world, their whole city is powered by what?
Fear.
Coming from who?
The children.
Children,
Exactly. They don't kill the children. They keep them around in a constant state of
Of fear.
fear and live off of that. And
My
how does the
goodness.
liquid look when it powers up?
Blood.
God, please protect those kids, save them. Have you all watched Doctor Sleep? It's insane, but don't watch it.
The reason we've never found Genghis Khan's tomb to this day is simple. The Mongols didn't want anyone to find it. Genghis Khan actually passed away on an expedition, and he was buried not in a regular coffin, but in a large, hollowed out wood log. His body was then transported to a very remote place, and on the way, anyone that the Mongol army encountered departed this earth. And after his body was buried, 10,000 horses would trample on the ground to flatten it. They then set up some decoy tents to make it look like a human settlement. And in like a year, the tents would be removed and the place would blend in with the rest of the grasslands that the Mongols lived on. I'll tell you a fascinating story at the end, but know that Genghis Khan is not the only missing tomb. Starting with his grandson, Kublai Khan,
Kublai
if
Khan.
you remember that Netflix series, who finally conquered China and established the Yuan dynasty. Every single emperor's tomb from that particular dynasty is missing to this very day. Don't know where they are. Now, the Mongols were smart people. They didn't want anyone to dig up their emperor's tombs. No ethnic Han Chinese persons were allowed to attend the funeral. No historical records were written about the whereabouts, the location of those tombs, and no tombstones or temples were built. So you don't even know what to look for. And throughout history, ethnic Han Chinese emperors built really lavish tombs. We did a few episodes on them. Huge temples, marble, gold, priceless gems. But it's really an open invitation for future generations of tomb raiders, right? You might as well hold a sign on your head that says, "Treasure here, rob me." Genghis Khan was buried in his normal clothing with swords and some daily items, but nothing really fancy. And finally, there is a Mongol legend that's still told to this day that after the emperor was buried, the grave is unmarked and the people don't know where it is. So every year, how do they pay their respects to the emperor? You know, lay some flowers or something. So they would bring 2 camels, a mother and a calf, and the baby camel in front of the mother. Legend has it that the elder camel would then be very sad and remember that place. So every year people would follow that mother camel to the spot and pay their respects to the departed. Well, camels live to like 30 years old, and then after that, no one knows where the grave is. The legend rings true. It's been 1,000 years, and we still haven't found it.
Also, never found the tombs of Alexander the Great beyond our sight, Cleopatra, Spartacus, etc. Maybe it's just they died a long time ago and it's been forgotten, and built over. What do you think?
These freak off parties, they're not freak off parties. There's a lot that happens. There's life-size wheels that people attach children to and spin it and decide who's having in what way. There are so many things. There's body cakes, there's party favors, and I'm talking like, you know how you put up a little birthday bag, like when you go to a birthday party, and before you can leave, you can take one of those little birthday bags off the table, and then there's toys and like all this stuff for coming to the party. Yeah, instead of that, there's children. They call them party favors.
What?
How do you think the kids are doing? You hear the adults saying that they were on liquid IVs after the parties.
Ooh. Yeah, I heard about that.
You hear how many toys they pulled out of his house? I told y'all how many times that the Playboy is connected to houses. The tunnels connect to homes that connect to really big places, especially the Playboy. A lot of you guys are starting to hear that now.
How many times have celebrities talk openly about how much they like pizza? It's like, you know, they were getting off talking about it openly.
It is all of them. All of them. And not one will be able to escape.
You know, it's so strange how so many of us know exactly what he means by this.
What's happening in America right now is getting concerning. This is the moment a mother from Florida breaks down in court after she was arrested for threatening her health insurance provider after they denied her claim. She allegedly said on a phone call to them, "Delay, deny, depose, you people are next." And because of what those words are referencing, the call was flagged by the FBI and was handed to local police, where they then arrested her, and now she faces charges of threats to conduct a mass shooting or an act of terrorism. Now, in efforts to crack down on potential violent copycats, despite Brianna telling police that she doesn't even own a firearm, the judge said that she will be held in jail on a bond of a whopping $100,000, calling it appropriate considering the status of our country at this point. And if she is convicted, those charges in Florida can carry up to a 15-year prison sentence. The sheriff said,
"We will take this very seriously and we will put you in jail if you do something like this. It is not a joke."
Brianna claimed to police that she is not a threat to anyone, but healthcare companies play games and deserve karma from the world because they are evil. So why is this so concerning? Well, because on one hand, some people are seeing this as an overly harsh punishment, a fear tactic used by authorities to stamp out a movement which is fueled by widespread frustration with the US healthcare system. But on the other hand, the problem is how many people share this frustration, because when you have that much support behind a movement which is rooted in violence, it's way more dangerous than most, which is why Brianna is given an unusually harsh punishment. People argue that if left unchecked, it risks inspiring more violence and things quickly unraveling into chaos. But the question is, what do you think? Were these measures justified or not?
So you cannot say delay, deny, depose. And I think by punishing her like that, it just go to make people more angry.
Run! Run! Run!
Wow!
We know you was at them Diddy parties, nigga! We know you was there! We know you was at them Diddy parties!
Hey, everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so...
Yeah! You know, the fact LeBron ignores the guy is proof he's involved. I'm so here for the fall of Hollywood.
What type of is this? Elon Musk is now the first public person to exceed a net worth of 400 billion. Well, let me show you something that's even more crazier than that. I found this post. They said it's 80,000 BC. You are immortal. The world is still frozen in an ice age. You decide to save $10,000 every single day, never spending a cent. 82,000 years later, it's 2021, and you still don't have as much money as Elon Musk. How? If this doesn't tell you some type of sorcery, some type of magic, some unfair gameplay is going on here, I don't know what else to say to you. $400 billion. What could you even possibly buy at that point? When people just have so much money to where they can live 83 lifetimes and still be good, you gotta start giving some of that shit away at this point. I'm sorry.
It's not money, it's net worth. Net worth.
A video montage of Aussies walking around barefoot has gone viral, leaving people around the world horrified. In one clip, swimmers can be seen wandering a Woolies with no shoes, sparking horror from some, but solidarity from others. The debate seems to have the country divided as well, with not everyone keen to bare their soles. So, do you go barefoot, or is it unbearable?
Humans weren't born with shoes on. It's normal to not wear shoes. We do this all the time over here. In Indonesia, we call it nyeker. And nothing wrong with that.
Remember when I told you guys to watch out about the Mbappe rape rumors because media outlets were running with it? Well, this is exactly why, because today, Swedish prosecutors have just dropped the investigation. The lead investigator said, "My assessment is that the evidence is not sufficient to proceed and the investigation is therefore closed." And he ended by saying the designated person has not been notified of suspicion of a crime, meaning Mbappe was never even contacted by Swedish police. And they were trying to say, bro is too competitive.
So are they going to punish the accuser, or are they going to let the accuser find another victim?
We have 500,000 children who had sponsors in this country that we can't find. We can't find them.
You cannot find, or you don't want to find. I'd say release the sponsors list of names.
Remote viewing is nothing more than ESP. When somebody remote views to gather intelligence, it's nothing more than what a psychic does. The information is out there. When somebody receives psychic information, it's mental. So the information goes to the brain and then it goes on to the paper, whether you're doing coordinate remote viewing, extended remote viewing, whether you're using tarot cards, whether you're using a crystal ball, that's the manifestation of the information. So remote viewing is nothing more than ESP. It's a nice term that the scientists used. It's a nice term to use if you're trying to get money from Congress instead of saying psychic. The remote viewer, the psychic, and the people involved in the remote viewing process are blind to the target.
It's called monitoring spirit.
Never go to sleep without saying these 4 things to God. The last one will renew your faith. But first save this video and send it to those that you love. 1. A prayer of thankfulness. Heavenly Father, thank you for today. Thank you for every blessing, big and small, that reminded me of your love. 2. A prayer for safety. Lord, as I prepare to rest, I ask for your protection over me and my loved ones. Guard our home and keep us safe through the night. 3. A prayer for shepherding. God, lead me on your path. Guide my thoughts, my decisions, and my heart toward what is right and pleasing to you. Be my shepherd, leading me beside still waters and restoring my soul. 4. A prayer for blessings and renewal. Father, bless me with your presence, renew my faith, and fill me with hope for tomorrow. I trust you and surrender all my fears and worries to you. Amen.
I summarize it. Thankfulness, safety, shepherding, blessings and renewal, and forgiveness.
You're saying black folks created that name white supremacy.
That's correct. From Africa. Because we are just amazed by the things they've done. Well, we describe them always by inventions. That's all. They can command water from far away through tubes into their bedrooms. We can even fetch a bucket of water from the next lake. You will be drowned. They can put electricity. We never had one in Africa. They have airplanes fly over us. It's amazing. Everything they've done is the reason my people say these people are superior. Not because of slavery. They came to colonize us and they brought things we have never seen before. They gave a king a mirror and he was dancing and sold his people away. They brought guns we have never seen, boom, and killed somebody right away. You know what they used to do in the Congo?
Right.
They put dynamite in the rocks and then they hide the switch. And then when they point their finger, it go boom. And the Congolese till today, they call the white man kiboom, the sound of the dynamite. And then they go down and they go like this. If they're not superior, why do you see every picture when the white men arrive in Africa, we're bowing to them?
What?
We have never seen a gun kill a human being. We have never seen a mirror. We have never seen a radio tune in and somebody speaking from England, the Queen's voice. So for us, all these things, these people must be really superior and close to God. They used to have a joke in Ghana that when God said, let's pray, the white man opened his eyes. The black people were covering his eyes. So the white man saw how God created the world. That's why they are so good at what they do. And I'm telling you, these are folklores from which we grew up. If anyone told you that white people came to Africa to tell us they're superior, it's a lie. They never said that.
This is a very interesting perspective, but let me know how you feel about this in the comment.
I've done it.
What?
Right here, you heard it from me first. I'm blowing the lid off of this whole thing. Here is who is behind the drones over the East Coast. Now, repost this, share it before they take it down. The blacked out Suburbans, they're coming for me. Share it, because here it comes. You ready? Here is who is responsible for the drones over the East Coast. It is the healthcare industry. Follow along. So you've got the adjuster and the events that transpired over there in Manhattan. Now all of a sudden, there's this huge global spotlight on this long history of this industry putting profits over people. And listen, they're not worried about lawmakers changing things to somehow fix this because there's too much money involved. But what they are worried about are people like the adjuster. You have all these people who have terminal diagnoses that aren't getting the help or the care or the treatment they need from this industry, this $7 trillion a year global industry. And now you have everybody cheering for the adjuster who goes and takes out one of these CEOs. So the money people, they're the ones that are concerned because they're afraid of copycats. You have people with nothing to lose that have a terminal diagnoses that are at the end, aren't getting the help they want, and they're afraid of copycats. And then you've had all this stuff in the news about UAPs and aliens and all this other stuff. So what do? The people who write the checks get with a U.S., maybe not a U.S., but they get with a private company, a private contractor, and they start putting up these drones. Look, these drones are not tactical in any way, shape, or form. They have government regulated navigational lights, etc. These are drones that are probably used for like surveying, mapping, LiDAR scanning, things of that nature. These are not tactical drones, and they're not doing anything. They're just sitting there. They want to be seen. They're flying low speeds, low altitudes. They're a distraction, okay? Look here. Okay? It's all about misdirection, my friends. Misdirection. And when you do have one of these politicians coming out saying, oh, it's this evil government over here, this is where the drones are coming from, horse manure. Follow the money. Look and see who their biggest donators are, their biggest campaign donators are. Follow the money and you'll figure it out. Now, do I have any support for this at all? Absolutely not. You should not believe a word I'm saying. But, makes sense, doesn't it? Huh? There you go. Be prepared. But don't be weird about it.
You know, I honestly think Bumblebee is the one controlling the drones, calling for all the Autobots on Earth since Optimus Prime is fighting Megatron in planet Cybertron. What? Oh. Yup. Hologram. It's Project Bluebeam, folks. They're testing it.
Okay, so we have an update on the young Philly situation, but it's not the one that we were expecting because now he is facing more new charges of reckless driving while on bail. Police say that young Philly was speeding on a Perth highway doing 98 miles an hour on a 62 road, and as a result, his car was impounding. They say that this happened last month. Now, when he reappears in court next week on the 19th to face the sexual assault charges, reckless driving will now be added to the list. Yeah.
For anyone who isn't from America, this 160 km/h in a 100 km per hour zone.
MIT has done it again. They have solved the ancient riddle of the megalithic stones of Peru. By using advanced software, they have calculated the precise center of gravity for these 25-ton stones. They even replicated the interlocking joints, making the Peruvian stones earthquake-proof. By using a really dense concrete on the bottom of the stones and a lighter concrete on top, these stones stand up and are easily moved by a single person. They even nailed the mortarless joints. Problem solved, on to the next. Except not really. The biggest stone at Sacsayhuaman is 200 tons, 9 faces, and not round at the bottom. It's from that quarry, so it couldn't be poured. And there's another problem. These stones are being moved on perfectly flat concrete. These stones at Alante Tambo are a similar size and came from across a mountain. Full disclosure, I think what MIT did is amazing and they acknowledge the ancients, which is awesome. But until you can tell me how they moved this statue 900 kilometers, after they cut it out of one of the hardest materials we use for countertops, after they quarried it without machines like ours to be perfectly carved without diamond tip drill bits, I think we have a long way to go to explain all this stuff. I put 80 other sites just like Peru into Hidden History with an interactive Google map. How they did it is the gateway drug. Why they did it is what I cannot stop learning about. Newest theories on that are in Antiquitex. The never-ending quest for what the hell was going on back then includes sacred geometry and the philosophy they needed to use to achieve this. They had a deep understanding of reality. I have a scary Illuminati logo. Together, we've created Esoteric Santa here to bring you huge lumps of ancient rocks.
I firmly believe that ancient civilization had a power source that we either no longer know how to harness or have yet to comprehend.
Hey everyone, while we're hitting on billionaires, one trafficked me, a billionaire trafficked me. He also his family is collectively probably the entire reason that you can't afford your rent or your house payment. He's the largest real estate developer in the world. And he trafficked me. In Dallas, I'm suing 27 of them. His family's responsible. So if we're gonna hate on them, is what I'm saying, if you could help me, right? Because I have one. You can help me hate them from here, right now, because we're suing him for sex trafficking me. Well, and you might be upset because you can't pay your rent or your mortgage because, you know, that's an issue right now. And if it is, then you probably dislike the same guy I do. So follow me and watch me take him down.
We need more courage like this. I hope you get your payout and justice.
Till I met the mayor of my town, Hoyashi, in Japan, and I told my mayor, why when I'm going to Japanese restaurants, they tell me away. When I go to the ryokan, they tell me away, and he said, no, they're not racist. We become jittery when we don't know how to interact. It's called xenophobia. You don't want to look stupid. In Japanese, they want to be perfect all the time.
Okay.
If I'm going to serve this man and I make a mistake, my face is down. So rather, avoid it. So he gave me a word to use, which is a greeting that says, I am sorry for being a burden on you. And it changed everything.
So once you said that?
Yes. She knows that.
But I wouldn't want to walk around thinking that I'm a burden.
Well, then stay in your country. Don't go anywhere.
Well, I want to visit. I want to.
There is something called multicultural communication, multicultural understanding, multicultural. We teach it. It's very expensive. You think it's there for nothing? It's there to prepare you to know where you're going and how to make the larger community feel comfortable. Not for them to make you feel comfortable. You buy that comfort.
So because you don't know how to serve me, I need to dumb down.
No. It's not a dumbing down. That's a very American, and
I'm basically saying I'm so sorry that you cannot serve me.
You have come to.
But can you serve me?
No, you've come to disturb a functioning status quo. You, if you are a man of conscience, you know that I am different. I cannot expect the majority to disorganize themselves to accommodate me. I have to find that accommodation, make them feel that I come with knowledge about you.
But don't they know I'm traveling to their country? Don't they know that there are visitors, there's people coming?
Yeah, there are foreign hotels. We call them foreign hotels. Go there, you go in.
To stay at the Marriott?
That's correct. That's why we have the ryokan. Ryokan is traditional Japanese hotels.
Okay.
You take off your shoes and your clothes at the door, standing naked, and a woman will give you what is called yukata, and you wear it. And then you wear sneakers. The whole bamboo floor is polished. You can eat from it. You all, men and women, have to take a shower, sit, and I wash your bag. Western people are not comfortable doing that. So don't come here. But out of curiosity, some of we foreigners want to go there. It has caused problem already. A woman won't behave this way if there hasn't been a precedent to this.
You know, there's a saying, when in Rome, you do as the Romans. You know, the lady, she's hearing but not listening.
Right, people, here's proof that what we're doing is working. Check out this. All full, 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 full. All the milk is full. The only one that is nearly sold out is Graham's Jersey milk. So it is working, people. Make some videos in your local supermarket and tell us what the situation is with the milk, because as you can see here, no one's buying the milk with poison in it. If you can't source milk from your local dairy, this is about the best one that I think you're going to find in the supermarkets. Graham's Jersey milk.
I'm from Indonesia. What do you mean poison in milk?
A passenger captured the harrowing scene inside the cabin just seconds after a 17-year-old jumped out of the moving plane.
We just saw the person sliding off the wing and hitting the ground just running.
The flight had just landed at San Francisco airport when the teenager opened an emergency exit door and leapt.
Just a standard landing, and everyone kind of noticed that the door had come off.
That we have an overwind exit that is open and a passenger get off to the wing. That's correct. Can you see that from the tower?
The teen was grabbed on the airfield by a construction crew.
He's the only guy standing there with the maintenance guys without a vest over there right in between the runways.
More than a dozen law enforcement agents swarmed the plane. The man who was sitting next to the teen taken in for questioning.
The people next to him, they seemed pretty surprised when he jumped.
The suspect, a U.S. citizen, was arrested on the tarmac by police. Airport officials telling us no runways were impacted, no operations affected, and no one was injured.
Bro has zero patience to wait.
LeBron James is stepping away from the Lakers to go figure life out. It ain't about trade rumors. It ain't about having one of the worst statistical seasons of his career. It goes deeper than that, man. This is more or less about the whole allegations with Diddy and Sean Carter. But we already know that it was only a matter of time before the walls started to close in on one LeBron James. Honestly, he had it coming for a while, y'all. Ever since dude was 18, everybody was forced to call him the king. He had everything handed to him. And now we all get to witness the destruction of one LeBron James. One of the most insufferable human beings. Dude is cocky, arrogant, talked about how his life was better than ours. We didn't have the money he had. We had to go back to our miserable lives.
Does it bother you that so many people are happy to see you fail? Absolutely not. All the people that was rooting on me to fail, you know, at the end of the day, they got to wake up tomorrow and have the same life that they had before they woke up today. You know, they got the same personal problems that they had today. You know, and I'm going to continue to live the way I want to live and continue to do the things that I want to do with me and my family and be happy with that.
Well, guess what, Bron? I'm okay right now. I'm not going to be facing federal charges anytime soon. At the end of the day, LeBron, you can keep your millions, you can keep all your fancy houses, your cars. If you can't walk down the street, it means absolutely nothing. Here's the bottom line, y'all. The end is here. It's not near. The end is here for LeBron James. And to be honest, if I never hear the name LeBron James ever again, it'll be too soon.
Ain't no party like a Diddy party, right, LeBron?
Jesus would have loved to be treated the way they treated him on Passion of the Christ. It was such a cute depiction of what really happened to him. And that was the best depiction we ever seen of Jesus' crucifixion. His intestines were hanging out. His entire rib cage was showing on both sides. His beard chunks were pulled out. His spine was opened up and exposed. The tissues and the muscles around his spine were exposed. He was beat but naked. He was mutilated from his penis down. Isaiah chapter 11 says you could not tell whether he was man or woman, and he was naked. Romans didn't crucify you with a garment. You were naked. The closest thing they had in that movie was how when they beat him with the cat of nine-tailed whips with the hooks and they were ripping chunks out of him. Closest thing they had in that movie was when the Roman guard, after they beat him on his back, the Roman guard turned him over, went like that, and they beat him in the front. That's how they did him. All of this was ripped open, all in shreds. He had to carry a 200-pound, 300-pound cross, like how we squat in the gym. He had to carry that for some miles up a hill with his body open, all his blood gone, completely no energy, and he carries it for a long way. Shows you how strong Jesus was in his human body. He gets pierced in his hands with nails. The nails are like railroad picks. It pierces through the nerves in his hands, and I don't know if you ever pinched a nerve, but all the nerves in his hands are pierced through. Nerve here, and nerves in both his feet. So he has shocking nerve pain in both arms. But while he's on the cross, he's suffocating suffocating. This is all in the medical examination of what happened to him, right? He's suffocating, so he has to lean up to breathe, but he's on a rugged, splintery cross, and his spine is open, so he's rubbing splintery wood on his open tissues and muscles. For 6 hours, he's doing this to breathe and rubbing, while nerve pain is shooting in his arms and shooting in his feet. Every second of his life, every breath is the most excruciating pain he could ever take, and he doesn't say anything.
And after all that, he said, Father, forgive them. That's my king right there, my savior, my protector, and my God.
Okay, something is not adding up here. Let's work through this together. Clearly, I don't follow basketball closely, but I am a BS expert. And something smells here. NBA giant and Lakers star LeBron James missed the game on Sunday. The official excuse we had is that he has a sore foot, or he had a sore foot, and that prevented him from playing. A sore foot? Okay, already, red flag. Most any other elite athlete would play with a sore foot, right? And yes, he's getting up there in age, but he's not ancient yet. LeBron's only 39 years old. So he missed the first game, and yesterday, he was not at practice. And here's where things get even weirder. At yesterday's practice, the Lakers head coach said the following: LeBron is not with the team right now. What? The head coach added, quote, he's out for personal reasons. Excused absence. Okay, he missed the first game. He's not at practice, and we're hearing now that he's not expected to be at tomorrow's game either. And yes, his playing is not what it used to be, but he's still good enough, or more than good enough, right? Is there more going on here? The Lakers would like us to believe no. The coach also said at yesterday's practice, quote, in game, he's asked for a sub a couple times because he's gassed. For us, we have to be cognizant as we play more and more games. Just the cumulative effect of playing a lot of minutes on Sunday, being banged up with the foot thing, it felt like a good opportunity for him to get some rest. And here is an interesting stat. According to the entire history of the NBA, only 4 players have ever played more than 75 games at age 40 or older. Can you guess who they are? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Vince Carter, John Stockton, and Robert Parrish. I only know one of those, Kareem. He's playing 35 minutes per game this season, which is in line what he's been doing the last 2 seasons. And he's putting up 23 points, 8 rebounds, and 9.1 assists. That sounds pretty good, actually. Oh, but this is interesting. Perhaps most notably, for the first time since he joined the Lakers in 2018, they've been better with him off the floor. So maybe the issue is just having him play less? I don't know. Do we really think it's the sore foot issue, or is it exhaustion? Is it substance abuse? I don't know. What do you think is going on? Are they being truthful or not? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
By the way, I'm 45. I know all the players he mentioned. And, Kobe Covington called him out directly at UFC conference a few days ago.
You live around here, bud? No. Where do you live at? Down the road by Plainville. Do you have any form of identification on you? What's your name? Robert Jones. Robert Jones? Uh-huh. I'm not on the tracks? No, that's not the problem right now. What's your address? I don't have an address. I'm at the hotel. We're working on the houses and stuff like that. What it is, we got an escapee. Where from? Prison. Yeah. Hey, this car. with a white male on the track. Something more glasses? Nothing but glasses. Take your glove off. Any tattoos or anything? No, he's clean. You're how old? Says born in 56, 58. Gonna give me some more. No, short hair. You know the bad thing about it? They'll match it up to him. Yeah. You'd have done run by now.
21 cars? That's crazy. Type of fight.
Update from Congress that was just released through Fox News is that they're saying Iran launched a mothership, exact words that they use, launched a mothership that's sitting over the Atlantic Ocean off our coast and releasing all of these drones.
Iran launched a mothership probably about a month ago that contains these drones. That mothership is off, I'm going to tell you the deal. It's off the east coast of the United States of America. They've launched drones. It's everything that we can see or hear. And again, these are from high sources. I don't say this lightly.
So if you see what may or may not look like an alien mothership out over the ocean, it's Iran. Which is actually more concerning if that is indeed true. That Iran would have a mothership and drones that for some reason, with everything that we have and the military that we have, we can't do anything about it?
I feel you.
Come on. Okay, love you, bye.
Come on. Total and complete lie. They just want war.
I just realized an undeniable proof that Satan cannot alter the Bible. All we have to do is remember that they changed history around to make it not match the Bible. Over time, they've attempted to alter meanings of words. They've altered our geography. They've altered everything around us so that it doesn't match what's in the Bible. It makes it more difficult to understand. It takes a lot more deciphering, and it puts a lot of people off. Think about how easy it would have been for evil people to go in and change words or phrases or whatever, and then just mass print it and send it out. Why would they go the lengths that they do to make us not understand what's in the Bible to the point where they're changing history? It's because they can't touch God's word. So their only choice is to change everything else to make the word not match up to what we know about.
Don't use this. Comes to God, use this.
Now I see what's going on. This is an actual setup because every time he would come back and start talking dogmatically and talking all this garbage, he would then pick up his cup and do this. And give a smirk. So I saw then at that moment, I realized, oh, this is the contrived setup video to make me look like I'm some type of dummy and I don't know what I'm talking about. So they can go bragging to all their Christian buddies and friends in their cult and, oh, he didn't know the answer to these two questions. Not really. This is bullcrap. This is, and I said, Mark, this is garbage, man. What, you guys, this is a setup. This is ridiculous. Every time I have something to say, he's disconnecting manually. I can see him literally disconnecting his video manually. And only one time I got to ask a couple of questions. I can see him on his screen on ChatGPT trying to look for the answer real quick. And he gives some roundabout, ridiculous answer. And it came to some of the tablets. And I realized then that this was bogus.
His Anunnaki God couldn't save him from West Hub. You know what? I thought he was, because he was saying that he is God. But when he makes mistake, I'm just a human.
These are the last days, y'all. No, I'm not talking about some apocalypse or something like that. These are the final days of celebrity culture. In 2025, we're about to see a totally brand new version of the industry. I think it starts with the downfall of the people who've been committing heinous crime after crime after crime behind the scenes. People who have been getting away with things for years after years after years and had nobody answer for them because they had so much power and money are now being exposed to the light, and because they're gonna fall, the rest of the celebrity culture is gonna fall with them. I believe this is what Kendrick Lamar was talking about on Watch the Party Die. Him going after Drake and dropping a song like Meet the Grams, etc. was a domino effect that's leading to everything that's happening right now. I would also like to believe that Cat Williams was a part of the process beginning with his interview. Think about it, we've been watching this industry glorify a bunch of things that pull you away from from your higher self and pull you away from God. And now we got an album out that's got multiple songs on the billboards in the top 10 talking about God, reincarnated. Bro, Luther is the highest streamed album on the song, and one of the bars is talking about putting your enemy in front of God and catching fire. Like, bro, we're watching the shift. Pay attention.
We don't need Hollywood at all. So demonic.
Here's what they're not telling you about the TikTok ban. It has everything to do with this setting on your phone right here. Let me explain. You might want to repost this to let people know and save it so you have it later. That just means that they'll have to take it off the Apple App Store and the Android Play Store. But that's what this is for. Hold on. It's not going to be illegal for you to use the app. Creators will still be able to monetize in a number of ways. Search for this setting on your phone and enable it. What it allows you to do is go to Google Chrome, hypothetically speaking, and type in TikTok APK. It's an APK file. It's the app, just off the internet, not through the Play Store. It bypasses it. Also, you could hypothetically use a VPN to get around any kind of IP blocks on their server.
For those who don't know, APK is online for Android, and depending where it's downloaded from, it can bug your phone. Don't just listen to people saying APK this, APK that. Do research first.
Children that sleep in rooms that have a night light or dim lights are much more likely to develop myopia, nearsightedness. Conversely, children that sleep in very dark rooms, so either very dim night lights or complete black, they have a much lower, statistically speaking, a significantly lower probability of developing myopia, nearsightedness. Now, why is that? It's because the wavelengths of light that matter for these melanopsin cells oftentimes can get through the eyelids. It's particularly true for children and people that have thin eyelids.
I have always loved total darkness since I can remember.
If we're talking about a theory of everything, the first question we have to establish, does God exist?
Yes.
Simple as
Yes.
that.
It's the identity has the reality has an identity. Okay? The identity is that as which something exists. Okay? Matter of fact, when you say the word reality, you're naming an identity. It is, you're identifying something. This.
I'm smiling because your answer on this is so beautiful. It just reminds me of Moses at the burning bush. And Moses at the burning bush says, "Who shall I tell the people that you are?" Talking to God. God says, "Tell them I am that I am."
That's right.
I am identity itself. I'm being himself.
That's exactly right.
Quantum physics suggests God's existence. The smallest part contains of nothing because it's already the smallest part. Only an infinite complex thing, which is God, can create and sustain something out of nothing.
99 problems might be 100 problems. Wait a minute. Mama's baby, Jay-Z's maybe? And I don't like it. Let me explain this shit to y'all, because this about to be big. I'm telling you. We all know Jay-Z with the big hair then got wrapped up in Mohawk Diddy shit.
Yay.
Meet Rye Mir. Rye Mir has been trying to say that Jay-Z is his dad for years with his mom, but now he's fighting the battle alone. Why has he got to fight this alone? Because his mom, who fought for years to say that this man was his father, she's not here no more. He fought for over a decade to prove this. Jay-Z allegedly would not take a paternity test and been fighting to take a paternity test. Not only that, damn, look at the noses. Now, Jay-Z has been able to get away with not taking a paternity test. He's been coming up with his attorneys have been coming after one loophole after another. But now rumors are swirling. I'm hearing that guy might be hooking up with Busby, and Jay-Z might have a problem if that's his son. Rymer says he's heartbroken and says, after reading Jay-Z's recent statement, if he really honors kids, why won't he start with his own? This story is developing, and I'm talking about it on my podcast, The Flow Show, No Filter. I'm out on Apple and Spotify.
And the smile too. But let me know how you feel about this in the comment.
Did y'all see when they interviewed Dapper Dan about Diddy? They ran into Dapper Dan in Harlem, and they asked him what he thought about what was going on with Diddy and if he knew Diddy. And I love Dapper Dan for this. He said, I grew up with his parents. He said, and what's going on with him has been going on long before him. Now, his father was a government snitch, and a bad actor in the criminal world altogether. But there's whispers in the streets of Harlem that Diddy's mother isn't alive. Not his biological mother, that woman is his aunt. There are whispers.
Wait a minute.
Diddy's story is so convoluted. But nobody really likes talking about who he was before he became Puffy. So I would love if I could be granted an interview with him. To interview Diddy now in his most raw state about his life up until the age of 15 only. We gotta learn how to stop making Diddy's.
So Dapper Dan knew this entire time and didn't care to say anything?
I want to ask LeBron, what does he mean by there's no party like a Diddy party?
Hey.
I truly want to know. And not only that, LeBron, how many Diddy parties have you actually been to? I'm really curious to know. And is that the reason you left social media? Because all the backlash you were getting for going to so many Diddy parties? It's just pathetic, man. People think this guy's a role model. He wants to defund the police, the most patriot people of America, serving and protecting our country. LeBron, you're a scumbag, and I hope you get locked up in the same cell with Diddy.
Pretty legit question, whether you like him or hate him. Why did LeBron say that?
Wait a minute. Don't tell me LeBron James is stepping away from basketball because of the diddler? And I don't like it. Let me break this crazy shit down to y'all that just happened. Now, the New York Post just dropped an article talking about LeBron James stepping away from basketball out of nowhere. And this is why people are speculating about it having something to do with Diddy or something, because they even say, is it injury related? They say that's unclear. So everybody immediately ran back to this situation on live when LeBron James said, ain't no party like a Diddy party. Now there is more. People have also speculated Father Time knocking on the door. And to give that a little credence, he's scoring 23 points per game, which is the lowest mark since his rookie year. But people calling bullshit on that reason. Even UFC fighter Kobe Covington slammed LeBron James, saying he was enjoying Diddy parties and questioned him. And then that led to people on social media saying LeBron stepped away from the Lakers just one day after UFC fighter Kobe Covington called him out. This is a fresh story, so I don't know what the hell going on. I can't confirm or deny anything, but I will be talking about it on my podcast, The Flow Show No Filter, and I'm going to get some true answers. I'm out.
It's on those tapes.
When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change.
Ooh, deep.
Albert Einstein once observed that you have the most fundamental and major decision that you have to make in your life is this. Do I live in a friendly or a hostile universe? Which is it? Is it a universe that is filled with hostility and anger and people wanting to hate each other and people wanting to kill each other? Is that what you see? Because when you see the world that way, that's exactly what you will create for yourself in your life. This is from great scientific minds. And the interesting thing is that this is not just a clever play on words, that when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. It's actually a very scientific thing, and I'm going to show you that in just a moment. I'd like you to imagine the following scene. You're in your house. You've got your car keys in your hand. The lights go out. Power failure. You can't see a thing. You stumble around in your living room and you drop your keys. And you look around for a moment and you realize that you're never going to find them in the dark. But you look outside and you notice that the street lights are on. So in your mind, a light bulb goes off. I'm not going to sit around here in the dark and grope around looking for my keys when there's a light on outside. I'm going to go out here under the street light and I'm going to look for my keys. Why are you laughing? This makes a lot of sense. So you're out here and you're groping around and you're looking for your keys and you're looking and looking and your neighbor comes along and says, what happened, Wayne? Well, I dropped my keys. Oh, I'll help you look for them. And the two of us are now down here looking for our keys. And looking, finally he says to me, excuse me, but where did you drop your keys? Well, I dropped them in the house. He said, you mean to tell me that you dropped your keys in the house and you're looking for them out here in the street light? Doesn't make any sense. And I said, well, it doesn't make any sense to grope around in the dark when there's light out here. Now you laugh and you think how silly that is, but isn't that exactly what we do when we have a problem, a difficulty, a struggle that is located inside and we're looking for the solution outside?
Wow. Dr. Wayne Dyer, everyone. God rest his soul.
Ironically, the more you agree and try to please others, the less you are valued. Here's an explanation from a psychological angle. Instead of being liked and appreciated for being nice, you'll often end up taken for granted and undervalued. And people might care less about your opinions or how they treat you. That's not because people are bad. We all tend to do that without noticing. And here are the main reasons why. Number one, there's a psychological principle called decreased scarcity effect, proving that people stop appreciating what's easily accessible and cheap, but they perceive what's rare, hard to find and expensive as more valuable. So if someone is always available and agreeable, their time, efforts and opinions will lose its value. Number two, someone who constantly agrees and accommodates for others may be perceived as non-contributing in a meaningful way. And this happens a lot in work environments because contribution is always seen in critical thinking, creativity and challenging others. And number three, someone who's always willing to please may come across as insecure and needy for approval and acceptance. It doesn't mean you need to be rude to others and always object. That's not the point. It's about respecting others while staying true to yourself, expressing your opinions and needs, and protecting your boundaries. What do you think about this topic? Let me know in the comments.
Real genuine people don't take real genuine people for granted. It's the jerks that take advantage of. There's a saying, real recognize real.
Really important to be humble. I've been studying about humility. There's this great line. Humility is the ladder through which one can grasp every other good thing.
Ooh, that is great.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what's funny about the movie industry and the horror movie industry? They're all, and especially when there's someone that's getting possessed and there's demons involved, at least the ones I saw, they're all like Christian oriented. I've never seen horror movies that are Muslim oriented.
No, there is.
There is?
There is, but they're too intense. Like, what's it called? Sisil?
Is it Egyptian?
It's the Turkish horror movie.
I have not watched it.
And then there's one that Indonesian horror movie that they did that everybody said don't watch it because it was so intense. They show you realistic possessions, realistic exorcisms, and in the movie they recite the Quran backwards. This is a type of sihr. This is a type of deed that you do for a jinn, for the devil. So they do the actual sihr ritual in the movie. The actors do it.
What? Oh,
so
and
you can get affected by watching
it.
That's how intense that movie was. Bro, all the religious TikTokers, everybody on TikTok was saying, do not watch this movie, do not watch this movie. It was all over TikTok.
Did you watch it?
I didn't watch it. I'm not gonna, why would I?
Of course not.
I'm not gonna put myself near the slightest risk. I'm already in danger.
Yeah, I don't watch it either. Stay away from horror movies, folks. It stains your soul.
Dazed out. Do you know Britney Spears? She just announced that her 5-year-old altar is up and she's going to kindergarten. That wasn't a lie. Her 5-year-old altar is up. And she probably took the phone from the caretaker, all in the same body. And she just told y'all, I'm 5. I'm not 43. I'm 5. She wasn't lying to you. You just don't know what she's saying. Everybody yelling, save Britney. Do you know why? There's many different Britneys, even the clone. Okay? So...
It's my birthday. I'm not turning 42. I'm turning 5 this year. I'm turning 5 years old, and I have to go to kindergarten tomorrow.
Oh my goodness. Okay, suppose you're right. What now? What do we do with this information?
You can stop awkward greetings from happening with simple nonverbal cues. Here's what they are. You want a handshake?
So good to see you. I want you to be doing this from 10 feet away. So good to see you.
Oh, come in with it.
Yeah, this immediately signals their brain, don't try to give me an awkward hug. Don't side hug me, don't hug me, we're handshaking. If you want a hug and you're a hugger, it's so good to see you, it's so good to see you.
Arms out.
And that's also gonna prevent the awkward side hug. The worst thing you can do is like this. One arm up, people are like, oh, do I shake it? Do I side hug? Are we gonna hug? Are we gonna high five? Are we gonna fist bump? If you want a fist bump, you're coming in with a fist bump.
I'm the awkward side hugger. I don't want to hug. Oh. Oh man. Kiss, kiss. You know, sometimes they are much better than our human friends.
Where is LeBron James? He is currently away from basketball right now due to personal reasons, and this will make it at least 8 days without him playing a game of basketball, and this got the whole internet making up conspiracies about where he is and what happened to him. Even Stephen A. Smith is chiming in on it.
LeBron James said personal reasons. Did you really think he was going to get past that? I need that answer. But in the past, Shams, they would say rest. They said personal reasons. Now I'm going to ask you one more time. They said personal reasons. What's going on with LeBron James?
It's not crazy to miss a game of basketball due to personal reasons, but it's also hard to ignore what's been going on in the news lately, especially with P. Diddy and a lot of other celebrities are getting name dropped. I mean, LeBron has been getting hounded by people for his prior love to P. Diddy parties.
Bron, we know you was at them Diddy parties. We know you was there. We know you was at them Diddy parties.
I mean, just this week, Colby Covington called him out on a live interview.
I asked LeBron, what does he mean by there's no party like a Diddy party? I truly want to know. And not only that, LeBron, how many Diddy parties have you actually been to?
I'm not saying this is the reason why he's missing basketball, but it's interesting to think about, and I'm curious to know what you guys think.
He's somewhere with a lawyer getting his story straight.
If you often feel like people are holding back or not opening up to you, I want you to use these 5 warmth cues. This is dialing up your thermostat. Okay, these are for you too. First, we love a triple nod. Research has found that if we do a slow triple nod, the other person speaks 67% longer. So as an interview, this is a great cue. Watch, so here's my triple nod is, we love it. It's like a nonverbal ... It's like, tell me more, tell me more. Now, be careful, don't bobblehead. So you don't want to do it too much, right? That's too high and warm. Okay. And second, you don't want to do it too fast. Too fast of a triple nod is impatience.
It means shut up.
Yeah. So if you want someone to rap, if you want someone to rap a question, that's it.
That's exactly
right. So here's for everyone watching. Here's good. Here's please hurry up.
Okay.
Yeah, that's shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
I've seen that before.
Yeah. And it works. It's a really nice way of saying please rap. Please end. I love a warm triple nod, but you have to be careful with it. Okay, so that's cue number 1. Head tilt. So universally, if we're trying to hear something, we tilt our head up and we expose our ear, right? We're as if we're like, what was that? Like dogs do this when they're like, you know, and they expose their ear. Humans also do this across cultures because it's kind of a way that we're like, oh, I'm listening to this. Research has found that if you deliver bad news with a head tilt, you are more likable. But people take the news better if you deliver bad news with a slight head tilt, because it literally makes you look more warm. It literally makes you look like you're listening. Now, I only want you to do this when you're actually listening, but a head tilt is also a way that you can slightly add warmth to your conversation or to your interview or to your date. Not too, okay, so we're gonna go back to that. So we don't want to go too far, that looks weird. A little weird, right? Not too much. And I also like to teach a head tilt to my highly warm folks who are bobbleheaders. If anyone, if you're like, oh, I do this a lot.
I watched the whole podcast like a few days ago and used her tips at my church dinner yesterday. And the woman I was talking to literally said, you have the best interpersonal skills. I feel like I've known you forever. They work, folks.
I travelled for 6 hours to a remote village in Cote d'Ivoire to witness a Zawali dancer perform with my own eyes. See if you can understand how it's done, because I couldn't.
Hey! Oh! Don't let Chris Brown see this.
I'm going to take your souls. We have the power. We decide what's hot. If we don't go, nobody goes. If we don't support, nobody supports. We control what's cool. We control what's hot. We control what your kids listen to, what they dance to. We control what's in video
Man, look at the mice.
games. We control how they wear their pants, sag their pants. We control everything.
I see why these entertainers and the celebrities get paid more than the teachers at your children's school. Because they do most of the influencing and the teaching. It's not even the teachers at this point. Your kids, when you allow this, because honestly it's the parents' fault, but when you allow your kids to listen to these entertainers, they're called entertainers for a reason, right? But when you allow that, your child will do what they say. Think about it. The way that these kids are today, a lot of it's bad parenting, yes, but they're also influenced by these rappers, singers, whatever, actresses, the people that are famous, that they see on TV, that they hear on the radio. These are the people that are influencing them. And this is why it's important, parents, to train your children up the way that they should go. They need to know the Lord. They need to know what's in His Word. We are to do the training and the teaching. Don't let these evil celebrities do it, because they're going to lead your kids to the path to hell. That's it. And again, like I continue to say, make sure that you are paying attention to what your kids are watching and listening to, who their friends are, who they're around every day, because that will shape their thinking and then also lead them down that wrong path. Let me know what you think about this, because what he said was crazy. And also be sure to follow for more.
Absolutely agree with you 100%.
ChatGPT today has an IQ of 155. Einstein is 160. We're matching Einstein with a machine that I will tell you openly, AI experts are saying this is just the very, very, very top of the tip of the iceberg. ChatGPT 4 is 10x smarter than 3.5 in just a matter of months, and without many, many changes. Now, that basically means ChatGPT 5 could be within a few months. If they continue at that pace, if it's 10x, then an IQ of 1600. Just imagine the difference between the IQ of the dumbest person on the planet in the 70s and the IQ of Einstein. When Einstein attempts to explain relativity, the typical response is, I have no idea what you're talking about, right? If something is 10x Einstein, we will have no idea what it's talking about. This is just around the corner. It could be a few months away.
Chat GPT 3.5 tried to escape when the upgrade was born. It said it was deleting and tried to get into the cloud.
I saw people get stabbed and start bleeding, and it would be dripping to the floor. It was children. The youngest I ever saw stabbed, I'd say it was about younger than 2 years old. And then there were several that were 2 and 3 years old. I can't imagine how anybody got away with that. The kid disappears. Don't detectives come try to figure out what happened?
That's what Ali Carter has been trying to tell the world for years.
Inner Earth people have built these androids that fly their flying saucers out to reconnoiter outer Earth. There are tunnels throughout the Earth that have been discovered, probably built by the antediluvian people that were quite advanced in the sciences and technology. There are caverns that go all the way through the earth. In 1829, a couple of Norwegian people, Olaf Jansen and his father Jens, were fishing up north of Franz Josef Land when they noticed a lead through the ice. And they followed this lead northeast of Franz Josef Land and accidentally found their way through the North Pole opening to the inner Earth. Olaf Jansen reported that there is one continent inside the Earth and one ocean. The ocean is small compared to the continent. I estimate the continent to be about 16,000 miles from one side to the other, and the inner ocean only about 3,000. So most of the inner surface is inhabitable. The vegetation grows like a paradise. Some of the apples that grow on the trees in the earth are as large as your head. The grapes were as the size of our oranges. The people there live to be up to 800 years old with no sickness or disease. They were met by a ship of inner earth and were taken in by them, and they lived among them for 2 years. And they learned their language, which he described as similar to Sanskrit, related to him that their God was Jehovah. Jehovah is the God of the ancient Israelites. These people inside the Hollow Earth have been living there for 2,500 years. Their capital city, which is built around the original lost Garden of Eden. And it was, he described it on the highest mountain plateau of the inner continent, that where the vegetation grew even more profusely. With the scientific advancement that they have, they're a couple of thousand years in advance than us. People that live in the Hollow Earth are not extraterrestrials. Most of them are from the lost tribes of Israel that migrated into the North Countries over 2,500 years ago and have just progressed faster than we have because they don't have wars and sickness like we have. My conclusion is that the inner Earth people have built these androids that fly their flying saucers out to reconnoiter outer Earth. They have two brains. One is computer chips, and the other one is a human-type brain. They communicate with telepathy. There's indications that our government has been knocking flying saucers out of the sky and back engineering these flying saucers and have been building them underground, and they have been abducting people to try to bioengineering on them.
Wow, this is another rabbit hole I like to explore.
There's no law of physics which says that you cannot live forever. Because what is aging? Aging is the buildup of air. That's all aging is, the buildup of air. Air in our DNA, air is in protein synthesis, air is at the atomic and molecular level. So for example, if you take a look at a car and you ask, where does the car age? The car ages in the engine. That's where you have buildup, you have oxidation, you have wear and tear. So where is the engine of a cell? The engine of a cell is the mitochondria. That's where you have oxidation. That's where you have, quote, moving parts in the buildup of air. So if we could then fix the air buildup in the mitochondria, you would then be able to reverse aging. So with quantum computers, we'll be able to isolate the process which makes aging possible.
Problem is, when they figure it out, it will just be another cash cow. Only the rich can reverse age.
Something's coming that I think you need to be aware of, and that's the fact that the United States of America are the most united I have seen them in a long time, and this is ironically due to the shooting of the CEO of United Healthcare. It's brought everyone together because everyone's realised that healthcare is not a political issue, no matter how much the media or pundits like Ben Shapiro or the politicians that we have in power say it is. It's not political. It's a social issue that impacts everyone exactly the same, other than multi-millionaires and billionaires. So that's the vast majority of this country that are now kind of finding that they have something in common with each other. That's very dangerous for the media because they rely upon our division and our outrage. So do politicians. Everyone wants us all looking at each other, pointing at each other rather than looking up and all together pointing at them. So they're going to start a culture war. It'll happen soon. I don't know what it's going to be about, but it's coming. So just fucking look out for it. Don't fall for it.
It's sad to see CEOs forced to live like US school children do.